Welcome to Guatemala. We're gonna ride these horses up to the top of the volcano. This volcano is actually smoking. I do not want to fall in there.
Give it a go, don't waste your time, 'cause you're running out. Give it a go and ask her out. Only takes a try, yeah. Even if she tells you no, then at least you know. So give it a go, give it a go.
After a one-day flight delay, we were finally on our way to Guatemala. We arrived late in Guatemala and rented a car. We're in Guatemala, baby! The hotel was only about a mile away from the airport, which was really convenient. The hotel decor was very upscale. We arrived late, so we just ordered room service. The hotel restaurant was closed, so we had to have dinner in our room.
Pizza, I dare.
Good morning, Guatemala! The next morning, we had breakfast in the hotel. We really liked this juice machine that made fresh orange juice for us each morning. And we did some exercise at the fitness center. Once we got ready for the day, we took a ride to a town called Antigua in Guatemala. We just drove about an hour to a city called Antigua. The road's a little bit bumpy here.
Tell me.
This town was very old. The roads were all cobblestone, so once we were in Antigua, it was a really bumpy ride. It took us about 20 minutes to find a parking spot, but we finally found a parking spot. Do you like my hair? Sage did it for me. Sage is actually really good at braiding hair. Before we toured the city, we stopped to get a little lunch.
How shocking, we're always eating.
This is their appetizer. It's called sopas. For appetizers, we got a fried tortilla with a bean paste, meat, guacamole, and onions. After lunch, we walked around to see what this city was all about. Mom got a peanut butter iced latte, which we have never seen anywhere else. It was good. One of the first things we noticed in Antigua was how many kids were everywhere. The yellow archway up ahead is called the Santa Catalina Arch. It is an important symbol for Antigua and has an interesting history. There is actually a secret passageway in the middle of the arch. On each side of the arch, there are two convents where nuns used to live and teach. In the late 1600s, the nuns needed a way to pass from the convent to the schools without walking on the street. The nuns took a vow of seclusion, meaning they had to avoid all contact with people in the outside world. Crossing the busy street of Antigua was not an option. This beautiful archway was built with a secret passageway that allowed the nuns to cross the streets without being seen. You could tell that there was a lot of religious influence in Antigua, especially Catholicism. This right here is a tuk-tuk. It is used in Antigua as a taxi. You can actually hire one to take you around if you'd like. We're gonna go take a look in this really old church. It was a beautiful church, but we weren't allowed to film inside. After viewing the church, we went into some tourist shops to look around. We're here in this gift shop in Antigua, and it's so colorful. You could tell that these bright colors were a big part of Guatemalan culture. Next, we headed over to a very tasty museum that highlighted a Guatemalan specialty. We're gonna go in this chocolate museum to try some Guatemalan chocolate. The chocolate store and museum had different teas and chocolates for us to try.
Cacao, tea from the cacao. Wow. That's good. For that.
We're trying Guatemalan cacao tea. The teas made from the cacao bean were delicious. We also couldn't wait to try the chocolate. We're trying some spicy Guatemalan chocolate. It's not spicy, it's cinnamony. It's not like hot spicy, it's like cinnamony. Woo! We just tried 70% chocolate, and it's so chocolatey, it's almost like sour. We bought some chocolate to eat later, but we couldn't use American dollars like we were used to. This is their currency. This is what money looks like in Guatemala. It's called Quetzales. Next, we went to go explore the town square. It was a really pretty park in the middle of Antigua. As Mom was taking our pictures, she noticed some young girls behind us that were about our age. We decided to say hello and introduce ourselves. One of the girls was selling items to tourists and the other was carrying a younger sibling. The two girls spoke a little bit of English and shared their names were Erin and Carla.
Erin, what's your name? Carla, and you live in Guatemala?
There's a lot of people selling out here, even kids. The girls we just met were 11. After a nice afternoon exploring Antigua, we headed back to our car. Now it's time to head back to the hotel. The next day, we were headed out on a different kind of adventure. We are headed to an active volcano in Guatemala. As we mentioned earlier, we rented a car in Guatemala. And although the roads weren't quite as modern as they are in the United States, it was still pretty comfortable to drive here. The volcano we are headed to is called Pacaya Volcano. It is located in a town called San Vicente Pacaya. Today we're driving to one of the 3 active volcanoes in Guatemala. The drive to the volcano from Guatemala City was about an hour and a half. As we arrived, Rory and I were a little startled because all these kids came up to our car door.
One okay?
I'm locking my door. Lock your door. But there was nothing to be afraid of. The guy came up to tell us where to park, and the kids were trying to sell us walking sticks. We weren't going to need a walking stick because we had something else planned. Those are the horses we're going to ride up the volcano.
We are walking up to the office right now, and those are the horses behind us that we're going to ride up to the volcano. So we just have to buy our tickets, and then we can head up. I'm already getting out of breath, actually. I think the elevation's pretty high here.
Yeah.
Name Príncipe.
Principe?
Príncipe, sí. Príncipe.
Aww.
All the guides spoke a little bit of English, so it was pretty easy to converse back and forth. We're gonna ride these horses up to the top of the volcano. Once we had paid, it was time to get on the horses.
Princesa. Princesa.
The guides were really helpful and helped us get on the horses. At Pacaya Volcano, you have an option of either hiking up to the top of the volcano or riding on a horse. The horses turned out to be a very wise choice because as you climb up the volcano, the terrain is challenging to walk in. There is lots of soft sand, rocks, and dust, and it's just more comfortable to be on a horse. The horses were so well trained and stayed tame the entire time. This is us horseback riding. The guide explained to us that this volcano had an active eruption just 8 months prior to our visit. The black lava that you see at the bottom of the hill is from the latest eruption. Many houses were destroyed in the latest eruption, including our guide's house. The view from the top was incredible, and you could even see another volcano in the distance.
We're just trying to get up there.
As we were going up the volcano, the guide noticed that the volcano was actually smoking.
Oh yeah? It's smoking?
Oh yeah, I can see it. Because it's faster than the clouds. And the volcano, can you see it moving? This volcano is actually smoking. That's the lava down there from its last eruption. We'll show you the smoke in a second when we get a little bit closer.
Well, look at all that lava.
As we mentioned, the volcano was smoking, and you can see it pretty good right here. When we got to a certain point in the trail, we had to get off our horses and walk the rest of the way. These horses were seriously so tame. They were the sweetest. So the horses took a break, got some water and some food while we hiked to the next activity. We were going to be doing something really cool at the top of this volcano.
My horse's name is Prince. My horse is named Princess. Now we're taking a 10-minute walk to go roast some marshmallows.
She's tying a shoe for you.
Now that's a great guide right there.
Is this for real or is it just a fantasy? Are we from now or is it real?
As we got close to the marshmallow roasting site, we noticed that there was smoke coming out of the ground. The terrain and rocks near where the volcano last erupted was really unique and colorful. Have you ever looked down into an eruption site of a volcano?
Yes,
That's
the lava flew down.
Just 8 months ago, the volcano was erupting from this very spot. And I do not want to fall down there. I do not want to fall in there. So I'm just
I'm
gonna
just gonna videotape instead of looking for myself.
slowly. Just 8 months ago, this volcano erupted, and it went all the way down there, as you can see, and it went all the way down there. And it's even still smoking right there. I can actually feel the heat where I'm standing.
It feels like a hot tub, doesn't it?
Big pizza.
Then it was time for the main event.
We're gonna roast these marshmallows in this volcano vent.
Because the volcano is still active, the volcano vents put out heat, and it's enough heat to roast marshmallows, as if you were at a campfire.
Oh, you're gonna do this one? Oh, he's popping it.
You can feel the heat coming up from the ground.
It took a minute or two for the marshmallows to roast, and we said hello to this cute stray dog that likes to hang out at the top of the volcano. The marshmallows came out perfectly roasted, soft, and gooey. We think they were even better than marshmallows roasted on a campfire.
Far past the epilogue, will love still be in your heart in this story? Are you still in my
Our guide told us a little more history about the volcano, and then we headed back to our horses.
No, it's a sulfur.
Volcano Pacaya in Guatemala.
Now we're gonna go back to get our horse.
Good job, Ava.
Now it's time to go back down the volcano. I can't believe it's over. We're saying bye to our horses now.
Are you still in my arms when we've read out all the
After one exciting adventure, we headed back to our hotel for the night. That evening, we did our COVID test at the hotel to prepare for our travel day the next day.
So if you have COVID, right now in the little T, if you were positive, you would see a really black, like if I had a Sharpie and I went like the marker on it, it would appear, the black line. And if you have the red line, is that the test went A-OK and you have nothing to worry about. See? So we're just waiting for your daddies. And you don't see a black line, so your dad is fine.
The next day, we headed to the airport, and we were en route to our next country. Where are we headed next? We are headed to Ecuador.
Let's do this! Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. Bye!
I'm on my way now.